Pooch belly fix. Why a pooch belly might not be just a body composition problem. A few months ago, I posted a video about how to fix a pooch belly from a postural lens, and it went off really well. It got hundreds of thousands of views, but I didn't feel like I was able to address everything. So I want to go ahead and do that here and talk about all the different avenues of what could cause a pooch belly. I just want to point out right away that it might not be a postural problem. It might not be a body composition problem. It might be a hormonal problem. It might be that you just had a kid and the different hormones and stuff change the way that your body is shaped, as well as the way that your structure, your tissue holds together. So it's going to make your tissue more loose, and that's going to make it more likely that you're going to push forward and go into that pooch belly. That's not really the scope of this video here. So for now, let's focus on things from a posture and a movement perspective. Because if you do have a pooch belly, a lot of times that means you have more issues structurally with your position and your posture and how you move. People who have a pooch belly tend to have more of a compressed outlet here on the hips, and this is going to really drive the pressure forward. The pelvis is usually tipped forward too and then compressed back there, and it's going to drive pressure forward, and it's going to cause more of that pooch belly because all the guts and all the fluids are being pushed forward into that position. Another thing that I see a lot of times with people with a pooch belly is that they tend to have more of a compressed front rib cage. If this front rib cage is compressed and pulled down, that's going to drive all that pressure down, and then we also have all the pressure being driven up, and it's just going to all come out forward right here. Now the hips and the rib cage really need to be able to go through dynamic changes and be able to change the pressure, because every time we breathe in, our diaphragm should go flat, and every time we breathe out, our diaphragm should come up. And so with the rib cage, that should move and expand with that inhale and with that exhale. And if it doesn't, that means that we're going to get stuck and we're going to end up walking, like a penguin or like a fridge or something like that, back and forth, and things aren't going to move and disassociate like they should. The same thing with the pelvis. If this is all tight and compressed, that's going to make it so every time we breathe in and out, this doesn't move, so we can't get good respiration, we can't get good breathing dynamics, but also this pelvis is stuck like this, and a pelvis like this isn't able to shift back and forth like it should. So you want to get this to shift back, and then you can go back and forth and be able to walk through proper mechanics of gait. And if we can't do this, then we're going to be grinding on the hips, we might be putting excess torque through our knees. And so the pooch belly is not just an aesthetic problem, it's also a movement problem. And that's why I'm so interested in it. It's not to shame anyone about a pooch belly. If you have one and you're fine with it, that's amazing, and I'm happy for you. But if you want to go ahead and change the position of your body for maybe some aesthetic reasons, but also for some movement and some posture reasons, then that's amazing too, and that's what I'm here to do. We're going to be covering 3 amazing drills to help you get started, but if you want more, go ahead and check out my 8-week movement restoration. It's an 8-week plan where you just spend about 5 to 10 minutes a day doing these different exercises that really help to restore the position of the body so you can get back to playing with your kids, get back to moving pain-free, and maybe even start changing the position of your body so that you can get rid of a pooch belly. First one, all you need is a foam roller, but honestly you could use a pillow or something like that. We're going to lay on the side, and this is going to help to really compress things side to side, because we know that people with a pooch belly tend to be more compressed front to back, and that's driving everything forward. So we're going to help to compress you side to side, get a reach in, and that's going to really help to expand that rib cage, and you should feel a gentle stretch on the front and the back of the rib cage. I'm going to lay here on the side, the hips and knees about 90 degrees. If you have a pillow, just go ahead and set up with that. And then we're just going to set up here. We're just reaching that arm forward as we exhale, and we're just going to hold this position. It's nice and simple. Fog up a window as you exhale, and then soft, quiet inhale through the nose. And you should feel a gentle stretch through your chest wall as you do that. The biggest mistake that people make here is breathing too fast, trying too hard. So if you reach too hard, that's going to basically make it so this exercise is not effective, and you're just cranking on your body. You want to make the body as relaxed as possible and just really chilled out so that we can relax all the tissue around in that chest area so we can get some really good expansion. If you're struggling to feel expansion in your chest wall, make sure that you have your pec nice and relaxed so you're not reaching with this. So just make sure you're gently reaching. And then also you can throw a pillow underneath that bottom side. So just lift this up a little bit and this will help everything to stack in a better position, help get that diaphragm in a better position, and help it so you can get better expansion here. Next exercise, we're going to be opening up the outlet. This is one of my favorite ways to open this up in here. We're going to go into a hip hinge, and that's going to really stretch out those glutes. The glutes are often compressed with people with a pooch belly because that's just driving everything forward and compressing here. A lot of times you see kind of like what I like to call tight butt syndrome. And so if we can get that to shut off and stretch out a little bit, then we can send some of that pressure backwards. Set up with your hands on a wall like this and get your feet right underneath your shoulders. Really feel your heels to the ground, but make sure you feel the ball of your foot as well. And then we're going to stay nice and tall with this. We're going to do a nice exhale, get the lower abs without clenching too much. We don't want to put too much pressure on the belly. We're just going to do a nice soft exhale, feel those lower abs and feel those side abs. And then we're going to walk down as we walk those hips back nice and far, but I don't want you to go too far because we don't want to round through the back. We're going to keep those hips pointing backwards as much as possible, and you should feel just a real gentle stretch through those glutes. We're going to hold this position and breathe here. So just the same breathing. Nice, soft, long exhale. Think about fogging up a window, and then a quiet inhale through the nose. As you inhale, you should feel just a gentle stretch more through those hips, maybe even on the sides. The big mistake that people make on this one, again, is going too far, trying too hard on this. So just really take it easy. Again, we want to keep those tissues as relaxed as possible so that they can go ahead and open up and stretch out. The last exercise for today is just a gentle inversion. So we're trying to get you to shift like this so that you can drive some of the pressures into the area that's compressed. So again, we're trying to open up that chest wall and get some expansion here. We just want a small elevation with the knees, make sure it's nice and comfortable. Start off small and then you can slowly build up with this. We're going to come down onto those forearms. I like to make sure that the inside palm is in contact, and then we're just going to lift gently as we do an exhale and then a quiet inhale through the nose. The same breathing pattern. Fog up a window and then quiet inhale through the nose. And you should feel a nice gentle stretch through your chest. Again, try not to push too hard, try not to try too hard. So I'd like you to do each of those exercises for 10 breaths each and do that daily. And I think you're going to notice a big difference in your posture and how you move and start to reduce your pooch belly. And when you're ready for more exercises, check out my 8-week program. This is going to be the best way to really improve the way that you move and improve that pooch belly because it goes through progressive step-by-step exercises just like we went over today. It takes you from maybe having too much compression on the bottom of your hips and the rib cage to being able to actually address some of the side-to-side asymmetries too, which generally are the underlying patterns that are really driving a lot of these issues. My main goal is to help you move better and feel better. So I'm not here to body shame or do anything like that. If this helped you, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell notification, comment and like, and share this with a friend because we want to get this out to as many people as possible so I can really help them with their posture and their movement and maybe their aesthetics if that's something they're interested in.